Good morning, boys and girls. Today's ELA lesson is for all the first graders at Bethune Elementary School. Today, I'm going to teach you a lesson about nonfiction text features. The lesson objective for today is that all students will be able to identify the various text features in a nonfiction text. But first, let's do a quick review. On last week, you all listened to two stories about the three little pigs and the true story of the three little pigs. And you had to identify how you can tell if the narrator of the story is a character or if it was the author. But as we read these stories, inside of the story, it mentioned that the wolf was able to huff and puff and blow down the houses of the three little pigs. Now, we have to ask ourselves, can a wolf really huff and puff and blow down a pig's house? No, of course not. So we know that this could not happen in real life, so these stories are fiction. They are what? Fiction, boys and girls. This means that they are not real. So many of you may be thinking, what is nonfiction? Well, boys and girls, nonfiction writing is writing that is true. The writing includes facts and can have real pictures to show information. For example, if we look at the picture on the right, we see a book entitled I Like the Farm. We know that this story is going to be a nonfiction book because it has a picture of a real girl who lives on a farm and she is holding real live animals. Text features. Nonfiction books have different text features that help the reader understand the content better. Now, if we look at the text feature examples anchor chart, I'm going to go through each one to help you have a better understanding. So the first one is table of contents. The table of contents, boys and girls, is at the beginning of the book. It tells the reader what is in the book and where to find it in the book. The number tells us which page to look for. For example, if I wanted to learn more about animals, I would look on page 8. Diagram, a picture with labels. Here we can see the inside of a pumpkin. The diagram lets me know by reading the labels that this is the vine, leaves, the seeds, pulp, the skin, and the stem. The next nonfiction text feature is a caption. A caption is a short explanation under a picture or photograph that gives information. So, boys and girls, if I look closely at this picture, I can learn more about the picture by reading my caption. It says, a pumpkin is ready to harvest when the vines turn brown. The next feature is the glossary. The glossary is at the end of the book. It tells the reader the meaning of important words. For example, if I want to know what an apple was, I will first find the word apple. Next to it, I see the meaning. An apple is a fruit that grows on trees. Next, we have a map. A map helps the reader understand where something is. The author might use a map to show where an animal lives or where the tallest mountain is. And on the picture of our map, we see the state of Florida. Next is bold print. Bold print in a book tells the reader that the word is important. The words that are in bold are usually found in the glossary. We look closely here, we see that the word pilgrims is bolder and darker than the other words. It is in bold print. That means that this word must be very important. The last text feature that we're going to learn about is a photograph. Photographs are different from pictures we usually see in fiction books because these photographs are real pictures, just like the zebra that we see here in this picture. It is real versus the picture at the bottom. This picture is a drawing. This is a picture that we would find in a fiction book. But in a nonfiction book, we see pictures that are real and they are usually taken by a photographer. Now, boys and girls, to help us get even better understanding about nonfiction text features, we're going to listen to a video.
Let's talk about nonfiction text features. Text features are the things found in nonfiction materials that help you make sense of what you're reading. These text features can also help you decide which pieces of information are the most helpful to you. Titles are usually located at the top of the page or front cover. They tell you what the book, article, or chapter is called. Some books and articles have subtitles. The subtitle gives more information about the title. The beginning of a nonfiction book or article often has a table of contents. The table of contents tells you on what page each chapter or section begins. Nonfiction materials use lots of tools to share information. Charts, graphs, and tables organize data and statistics to make it easier to read. Photographs and illustrations often have captions underneath them. Captions give more information about the picture. A diagram is a simple drawing that shows the parts of something or how it works. Diagrams have labels that tell you what each part is called. Some nonfiction materials have maps. A map shows where something is located. A timeline shows the order of when things happened. Timelines are often used with historical events. Nonfiction materials often use bold and italic letters to draw attention to important words. Bold words are made with dark, heavy lines. Words in italics are slanted. Sometimes the bold and italic words can be found in the glossary at the end of the book. The glossary is like a mini dictionary that gives definitions of the keywords found in the book. The index is usually the very last page of the book or article. It tells you on what pages you can find important information or keywords. Words in the index are listed in alphabetical order. Nonfiction text features are the things found in nonfiction materials that help you make sense of what you read. Let's look at the text features we've learned so far. Title, subtitle, table of contents, chart, graph, table, captions, diagram, labels, map, timeline, bold, italic, glossary, index.
So today, boys and girls, we learned about how to identify the various text features in a nonfiction text. Now, I would like for you to answer the questions in the link below about what you learned today and submit your form back to your teacher.